What is happening, guys? I hope you're all well. It's Neo here, bringing you a Diablo 3 gameplay. So in this gameplay is just going to be an introduction to Diablo 3. Now, I've never really played this on the PC, so I thought I'd give the PlayStation version a go. It looked pretty cool on the YouTube videos I'd seen for the PC version. So I thought I'd give it a go on a console and see if it was any good. Now, I have been playing it a little bit, so I know the ropes sort of thing, so I'm going to just teach you about the Witch Doctor class. Now, I chose this class because it best fits my personality. I'm the kind of like magic user who likes to blast things from afar, and I'm into the whole like zombie undead sort of thing, so this was a really good class for me. So what you can see is, this is how it is. It's in third person. I'm just going to show you in the inventory now. So if we bring up the inventory as we have done, we can see the swords, the hands, and all the equipment that you'll see. So we've got sort of kind of a headgear sort of thing, the chest plates, the head, necklaces, sort of bracer kind of things, your secondary offhand weapon, and 2 ring slots here. Your bag, which is full of your inventory, gems and stuff, your feet, thighs or legs, and your belt. So there's a lot of different equipment that you can use. If you press the square button, you can have a look at your stats. If I scroll down here, you can see like my damage per second being 93.90. I'm not very powerful at the minute, and it just gives you a wide variety of stats that you can see to help you improve your character or find what sort of items and weapons suit you the most. At the very bottom that I'm getting down to at the moment, we'll show you the experience that you get, any bonuses to experience, and things like that to help you sort of gain levels quickly. So at the moment, just scrolling down, I get a 24.40 bonus percent experience, and my bonus experience up there doesn't really mean a lot, and that's kind of like your effects from spells and things. So anyway, if we go back to the gameplay, oh wait, just before I'll quickly show the skills. So each of your skill slots can be assigned to a button on your controller. So you get the X, R2, square, triangle, circle, R1, and then you get 3 passive skills that you unlock as you sort of level up. So each of these skills you can assign, you unlock different skills as you level up, as I said. And you can also unlock relics for those skills that you can choose different effects. So in this case, like this one shoots multiple poison darts. The one I've got selected currently numbs the target and makes them slow. So the best combination I've found for the Witch Doctor at this moment in time is to have the slow darts that I'm shooting now, the zombie dogs with the upgrade to poison dogs with the relic that you get, and the bat thing, which I haven't unlocked, the one that gains your life yet, and then the zombie charge attack. With the R1 slot that I'll unlock later, I'm going to be using the Gargantua sort of summon, so you get 3 different familiar pets to help you out in battle. Now this is a really good setup. I mean, you can also set what your follower does, so I've unlocked a couple of follower skills. You can also give him items to make him more stronger if you've got a load of spare items that you don't need or can't use. But I tend to play this co-op with my friend Simon Foster. He's Simp22 online. We're going to play together a bit later on actually, so I might do some gameplay footage of us 2 boshing monsters in and all that stuff. So anyway, as I was saying, the best sort of class setup that I've used for the Witch Doctor at the moment is having those set up as you saw there. Now this is a really good setup because your familiars do all the sort of blocking the enemies off from you, while you can slow them down so they can't get anywhere near you and blast them from afar. A good tip when you're walking around is to explore everywhere on the map so that you can find those little book things, because they give you quite a lot of experience.
But eventually she lost.
So I'm just going to go around the map sort of hunting for caves. So I found one here, so I'm going to just quickly go in and explore it, just to give you an idea of what to expect if you go into dungeons and ruins looking for treasure. Now you'll notice that I fight quite a lot of enemies in one go, and I hardly take any damage. This is because this class is based around blasting things from afar, so it's very rare that you ever get touched. You don't need to rush into the battle or get close to enemies. So as you can see, the zombie charge thing is the only sort of skill that I use that I have to sort of be in a group of people mashing them in sort of thing. But that zombie skill can be used far enough away so you don't get hit, which is quite useful. So as you can see, my sort of zombie dogs are doing most of the work for me. They do damage based on a percentage of your overall damage, so it's kind of an effect having 3 characters in one, which is quite cool. When I've unlocked enough levels to get the Gargantua, that would be kind of like 4 people in one. So the little red orbs you see around the floor are sort of like little health orbs. If you get the golden ones, then I'm not too sure what they do, but I know they make you a little bit more powerful. If you see the little treasure hunter thing that I've got there, make sure you bosh him in before he can escape, because you get quite a bit of cool loot from it. So as you can see, I'm pretty much owning everything, even though I'm quite a low level, and these guys are pretty tough, to be fair, so it's just about getting the right setup for you sort of character. If you're kind of into sort of like the bossy type characters where you rush in, tank everything for everyone and just like to mash things yourself, I highly recommend using the Barbarian class. If you're kind of a magic user, the best sort of classes that you'd want to use are the Witch Doctor or the Wizard. Now I was tempted to go Wizard because I'm sort of hardcore magic user. If it was Sword and Shield, I'd be like a tank mage sort of class, I always am. But I decided to go to Witch Doctor simply because I love sort of undead and sort of vampire kind of stuff, so I kind of thought, well, you know, it's kind of magician crossed with necromancer, so I thought, sod it, I'm going for that instead of the Wizard. The Wizard is more elemental based spells, so if you're kind of like into that, they've got some really good powerful spells in that class. The only other class that I didn't touch upon is the Demon Hunter class, which is kind of similar to like a ranger class. They tend to use like crossbows, bow and arrows, two-handed bows sort of thing, but they are very, very devastating, and I think they're supposed to be one of the best classes in the game. I'm not too sure because the game itself is quite balanced, so I don't think there's no uber character that everybody will go for, but the Demon Hunter can do some serious damage per second from afar, which is quite good, kind of like what the Witch Doctor and the Wizard do. So you in a sense you're quite limited to sort of what kind of characters you can use, as the Barbarian is the only one that you can really rush in and sort of mash up yourself sort of thing. Everything else is kind of like a long range sort of character. I could be wrong because I have not really played the other characters yet. I only started out with the Witch Doctor a couple of days ago, and I've been playing with Simon, who uses a Barbarian, so we kind of complement each other really well. Like, he boshes them in, I slow everything down, and we work it like that. So as you can see, I'm just running through this dungeon, absolutely creaming everything that comes in my way sort of thing. And it's good to always have like your follower being the complete opposite class to you. So I've chosen the Templar because he's kind of like the Barbarian style. He rushes in, bashes everything and stops people walking around and trying to mash in. But so far I played it, it's an actually fantastic game. Like I wasn't too tempted to buy it, and then there was just something when I was watching YouTube videos around the PC versions. It was just like, you know what, this could be kind of my game. So I thought, you know what, sod it, I'll go grab it and then see what it was like. Actually really enjoying it so far. As you can see, you get different types of enemies. I probably should explain that a little bit. The certain enemies are tougher, so you'll find that blue auraed enemies like your kind of enemies that are slightly better than the original enemies. The normal enemies appear like white and just normal, they don't have a glow. The blue enemies are slightly tougher and do have certain special abilities, and then you'll see like the yellow named enemies that glow a yellow sort of thing. They're a lot tougher, and they're like your sub-bosses kind of thing that hold unique weapons and items if you can bash them in before they kill you sort of thing. Now I don't know if there's a boss around this cave. I don't think there is. I think there's just a couple of yellow nature stuff. But as you can see, it's a pretty good game to get into. There's a lot of action going on, and monsters can respawn from anywhere. And the great thing about this game is no two games are ever the same. So if you go in the same cave that I just shown you here that I went into, it's all random terrain, so every time you go into this cave or on a different playthrough it will be different, which is quite unique and pretty cool actually, because you always got that exploration ability. You don't know, you can't go through the entire game thinking, oh, I know exactly where X is, or I know where such and such a boss is, because it's completely different each game, which is quite cool. And what I will mention about the classes is a lot of the classes, bar the barbarian, use different sort of skills. Now if you can see in the bottom left of my screen I have a little blue orb thing that's rotating, and that's like my MP or mana points or whatever you want to call it. Every time I use a really tough spell or whatever, it takes up some of that mana, but it regenerates over time. Now the wizard is another class that uses a similar thing, but it's called an arcane skill, and that regenerates a lot quicker than my mana points do. However, the spells that are used for the wizard are a lot different to mine. They're more like sort of lighter hitting spells, but you can cast more of them, if that makes sense. Whereas mine are like hard hitting spells that take a while to regenerate. The barbarian uses a fury technique, like the more enemy he kills, the more fury points he gets, and then you can, or the more damage he does basically, and then charges his fury, and you can summon some like barbarian allies to your side that can fight for a couple of seconds, which give you a bit more of a damage boost. A lot of caves have more than one level to them, which is quite enjoyable, exploring the different sort of scenarios and scenes that you get in each of the caves, which is quite cool. So as you can see here that I'm fighting a yellow named swarm of bat things or stingy things. They're quite difficult actually, so I'd avoid getting too far close to your bats. And also you find if you get to the point where I am in the desert, there's some sand wasp things that are quite devastating. If you get a line of the little wasp that fires out at you, hit you all in one go, that can be quite fatal actually. I've died quite a few times trying to go against them. I hope you're liking the gameplay. There wasn't a lot I could really do bar explore the cave and stuff, because I was going to save a lot of these questing and stuff for later, because I'm going to try and do some trophy guides for this game, just so that you can have an easier time getting the platinum. So you notice I picked up yellow items, so as with the monsters you get different coloured items, like the blue ones are slightly uncommon and better than the white named ones, the yellow ones are pretty rare, and then you get like the one that I just quickly drove past there. It was a kind of like a yellow and orangey kind of colour. They're the ones that are like uber rare and like uber powerful, so you want to be looking out for them with the treasure hunters. So that's pretty cool. I'm going to leave the video there at the time being, because I think I've covered everything I wanted to with regards to the witch doctor and how he's set up, sort of thing. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Please give us a like, a comment and subscribe if you enjoyed it, and hopefully we'll see you in the next video. Take care.
Need more mana.